customer centricity. So here we are saying that customer is a central entity of the system. So by that, what means is customer is one of the core entities around whom the various accounts, products, and the various offerings are revolving, including the limits and exposures. It's associated with the customers. The pricing flexibility, it's associated with the customers. The product eligibility is associated with the customer. So we can also perform analytics with regards to the customer. So this is one particular slide which spoke about how customer is at the core in terms of the philosophy. And there is one other slide where I had briefly touched upon the various kinds of alerts and advices which are available out of the box. You know, these are the various statements and advices. These are again addressed towards customers. So these are some of the functionalities which are supported out of the core banking platform. However, as Oracle, we have a fairly comprehensive solution around customer relationship management side, which comes from the acquisition from CIBE. Apart from the CRM, the pure play CRM side, we also have offerings in the analytics space where you can actually assess the customer profitability and, you know, the value and relationship of your customers. So these are some of the basic or inherent features which are available as part of the platform. I'm not sure, sir, whether I've been able to answer your question completely.
With customers and you know, because you said it's customer centric, so a lot had to do with communications with the customer, and of course analysis and so forth. And what I was particularly interested in was also from a donor perspective, because some institutions like OCAR, for example, would be dealing with donor accounts, and who would be customers, but in a sense not necessarily in the traditional sense.
Right.
So there must be some kind of a system where there's donor relations management, and you know, which is a little bit more specialized, I would say.
Let me do this as a follow-up. I'll ensure that we can have a little more elaborate and detailed discussion with you, so that we can try and understand your expectations and how the product caters to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Banerjee. We have reached the end of the third session, and a very important announcement. We'll break for lunch, and we'll be back, maybe we take about 30 minutes.
Good afternoon to everyone, and assalamu alaikum. Now, our second session this evening would be a forum. Now, today we have the opportunity to have a number of CEOs, as I think it's very difficult to have 4 or 5 CEOs at the same time.
We welcome Mr. Chauhan from Al Baraka Bank, CEO Al Baraka Bank, South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, our main topics today is on the development of Islamic finance and banking in Mauritius. Now, before we proceed and ask the opinion of these CEOs here, I just would like to go through the development of Islamic banking and finance in Mauritius. Now, first, we need to look at the regulatory framework. I have the slides here in front of you. It's a very simple one, which gives you a quick snap of the development. Now, since 2007, the Banking Act was amended to include Islamic banking businesses. The following year, 2008, the Bank of Mauritius issued a guideline for anyone who wants to conduct Islamic business in Mauritius. Now, at the same time, in 2009, the Bank of Mauritius became a full member of IFSB, and we had some changes in our stamp and duty registration. And in the same year, 2009, HSBC Amana launched its product in Mauritius, and it's only for global business only. In the same year, we have the British American Investment Takaful, as well as the British American Investment Ijara. In 2010, the Bank of Mauritius joined the International Islamic Utility Management Corporation. And this year, last 2 weeks, we were honored with the first Islamic bank, Century Bank, a wholesale Islamic bank. Now you could see that changes in regulatory framework, changes in regulatory framework for Islamic financial services have already done the necessary for anyone to offer Islamic finance and banking in Mauritius. At the same time, we have existing providers and product, and we can clearly say that there is the supply, is not meeting the demand. Now, based on a recent survey that we carried last December, demand for Islamic product is very positive. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to ask, I will start with the CEO of the stock exchange. Now, I'll start with him first because he has to rush back for an important meeting. Now, I want him to tell us in his view, as the CEO of the stock exchange, what he can and what can we anticipate in the future, as far as the stock exchange is concerned for the Islamic financial services.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I just wanted to express my sincere thanks to the organizers of this conference for inviting me to participate in this panel. When I was invited to participate in the panel, I very clearly stated that I'm far from being a specialist in Islamic finance, but my presence on the panel would just be a clear testimony of the big support that the Stock Exchange of Mauritius gives to all innovative ventures or all innovative actions. So I'm very pleased to be here, and I maintain that I'm far from being a specialist. But then if you ask me the question, how supportive the Stock Exchange of Mauritius is vis-à-vis all these initiatives in Mauritius to promote Islamic finance and Islamic banking, I would say that one of the first things that we do at the Stock Exchange, although so far we've been essentially focusing on conventional types of products, which are equity products and debt products, we are now in the process of what I call the internationalization phase of the Stock Exchange, which means that we are opening up to new products. We've recently changed our listing rules to make them more flexible, to cater for a number of types of funds, ranging from professional funds, specialized funds, and so on. So it's very clear that the environment is open for the listing of Islamic funds in Mauritius. And as I was discussing with you from South Africa, my colleague from South Africa during lunch, I think Mauritius as a jurisdiction has a number of very key advantages to position itself as a gateway linking Asia, Europe, USA to Africa going forward, because we are a very flexible jurisdiction. We've got world-class regulatory framework. We don't have exchange control. And more importantly, as I was telling you, for example, from the stock exchange standpoint, today we are in a position where we can trade and settle products in US dollars, in GBP, in euros, which gives us a very clear competitive advantage.